Welcome friends, it is I, ScarfVloged, and it's time for the vlog, and in the background is Anubis. I don't know why this is, I think the reason why it's a vlog game is because I was just really tired. I think it was like the 5th hour. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna be that entertaining. I play good, but I wasn't that entertaining. I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. Also because it's a short game, as you can tell from the time. So what's going on here? Smite stuff as always, doing the guides, playing the game, doing the guide, playing the game. Balance is out of whack, Scotty is still stupid. Raijin is still stupid. Amaterasu is still stupid. Like, balance ain't a thing. Balance ain't a thing. The April Fool's patch notes was kind of funny, though. The April Fool's Manticore video was amazing. Mez had a really good voice work there. That was great. Nice writing. Whoever wrote the script for that was amazing. I have no idea who wrote it, but they did a good job. Just no clue, though, who did it. As far as the channel goes, ET Armies was hilarious. Hilarious. Next week is going to be Paragon for that position. We're going to do Paragon for 5 episodes, just exploring Paragon, seeing how the balance is, and just enjoying the game itself. And then we're going to, after that, we may or may not take a break a week after. So after this week, this Paragon the next week, might be a break. It really depends on how things go. And after that will be Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3. We're going to try LPing it. I think I mentioned this before. We're going to try LPing it on YouTube instead of on stream, just to see how that goes, just because we want to try to do it that way. And it should be a lot of fun. It is Dark Souls. As long as... Well, I don't have to worry about that. As good as I am at games, I'm also terrible at games at the same time. So, bad things will happen. Bad things will happen, and you will enjoy that. And hopefully some amazing things happen. It's not just bad things. Of course, I'm curious how much dialogue there'll be that we have to sit through and stuff like that. I'm not sure how Dark Souls 3 is going to be. So, from the footage I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a lot of intense fighting, which is awesome. But also, it looks like they did change the... system a little bit. I think armors got changed a little bit, so we'll see what happens. You know how I am. I'm more about looking good and having alright stats than having amazing stats and looking ugly. Some games I'm okay with looking ugly while having great stats, but when it comes to Dark Souls, I like looking good while having some nice stats. So that's what usually happens there, where I could not as good as I could be just because of the way I did things. Also, when we did Dark Souls 1 or 2, we did a dexterity build. We tried it out that way, and we actually won the game like that. That was an interesting way, because mostly it's usually like, what, strength, right? Like, or agility, or something like I can't remember the stats right now. But we did an unorthodox setup, and we actually did pretty well with it. And that's just how we did it. That's just how we rolled. People are like, what the hell are you doing, Dex? Like, yeah? 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 But, we'll see how it goes. I know I'm not going to enjoy the PvP at all, because... my problem with PvP is you're going to just... when you run into people who do the forced PvP like you do with the rat people in 2, it's people who are specifically geared towards PvPing, while you're specifically geared towards doing whatever the hell you're doing. Maybe you're geared towards PvP. I'm going to be geared towards adventuring, and I'm going to just get killed by people who know what they're doing. And that's going to be a little annoying, unless they don't do forced PvP. Nah, they're going to do forced PvP. They did it last time, they're going to do it again, I'm sure. So we'll see how that goes. And of course you can just go, you don't have to be human, but you get bonuses when you're human. So you gotta go human. You gotta be human. Also just adds an extra spice to it, so yeah. We'll see how it goes. We'll probably be a chick again. Like, it's been tradition to just make our character a chick. I don't know why. I think the chat just decided, make it a lady, and then we just have always been a lady. So we're gonna be a lady again, probably for the LP. Other things, the guides are just coming out. Osiris guide, I am on the edge about. Osiris is only a solo player. He used to be such a good jungler. I just don't see it there anymore. And because I liked him in jungle, I don't know. Heart a little broken there. I might just... he can be a really good solo if you know what you're doing. He can be a solid solo. He can be a solid team player. So, see, this guy's gonna happen. We skipped Odin because Odin's all about that jump. You fail that jump, you're a bad Odin, basically. And that's just way too much pressure to put on a beginner. So I'm not even gonna... put a guide for Odin. Also, I play him jungle. I don't play him solo like people say he should be played. I play him jungle, and I dominate from there. So, I wouldn't even be recommending him in the right spot anyway. After that is Ra. I need to get enough points for Ra so that I get his new skin before I do the guide, because I want to show off that new skin. I don't have to, though. I could always just do regular blue and Ra America if I want. Alienware skin is my favorite skin before Ra America happened, that's for sure. Yeah, we'll see about that, and we'll see when Chad happens. Jinx is dealing with a lot of projects right now, so she's under a lot of pressure, so we'll see when things actually happen. And I've been kicking around, I'm thinking about doing my own little project as well. Just doing my own little LP. With a lot of editing. I'm thinking of trying to do something like that just so I get better practice at editing. That way I can set up things better for Jinx when I'm just LPing, and then she does all the editing. That way we're just better. Because if you understand the other side better, then you can help facilitate better ideas for the other side. That's basically it. So I'm going to try to do some editing, but I don't know when I'm going to decide to actually do that. Because I have other things I need to focus on. In 2 months is the big test. The big test that decides a lot of things for my future. I'm not even in Japan. But, it's the state test, which I can take again in 6 months. But if I pass this, I can just roll up to any interview and go like, hey, look, I passed a thing that is beyond me. Something that you don't even need me to get yet. I am better than your work. No. But I'm like, look, I did this. I beat this test. I beat it so hard that you hired me already, and this interview is just a formality. Like, that's what this test is, if I can pass it. And I'm in the belief I can. I just got to study really hard for the state test. And that'll be awesome, because then that'll just get us going as far as our career goes, and then with our career going, we can just do a lot of things. It'll be great. Talk about Smite a minute. Smite is really frustrating me. If you saw yesterday's stream, you saw how it really frustrated me. Sometimes it's just, oh my god, oh my god, there's just so many bad games. So many bad games happen. It's very frustrating. Smite's just wearing me down. I don't know what's going to happen there. I really don't know what we're going to do with Smite. We're going to be on the out eventually. We already know that. I've already talked about that. I just don't know when. On other news, I am going to pre-order Hearthstone. I really want to just take a look at Hearthstone again. And the best way to do it is do the pre-order decks, so that way you can make a bunch of decks. So that'd be really cool. One-shots. Oh, bother. I have only made one-shot. I like the other one. Flame Break is going to be an upcoming one-shot, and it's really good. The other one-shot I haven't not made yet, so I gotta do that for sure. What else is there as far as the channel goes? I don't think there's anything else. Right now we're staying the course. We're doing these little projects here and there. A couple of big projects coming up. There's not going to be any more machinimas for Smite. That is done. I just don't... There's so many great machinimas I know I could do for it. And we've worked on them. But I just don't want to do them anymore. I'm so tired of the really bad camera for Smite. I'm just so tired of just how obtuse it is. Much a pain in the ass to line things up. You could line things up so much better in other games. I just really wish Smite put a little bit more time into it. But Smite doesn't care about its content creators anyway. It really does not. We got Smite Showcase. That's all we got to really show off our people, and that's it. That's not a lot. They stopped doing all their PR stuff. They just stopped giving content creators things to make it easier on them to make content for Smite. And they stopped like a year or so ago. I think I already talked about this before. They stopped with Twitch a long time ago. They stopped with YouTube people a long time ago as well. It was on Kelly giving us the transparency. That's it. And she did it on her own time. Kelly's a saint. Kelly's amazing. She's really great. Smite just gave up on its creators. It just doesn't care. It put all its focus on esports, from what I can tell, and just stopped caring. And this is something that doesn't make any sense to me, because Hi-Rez is all about how we've hired more and more people. We're growing. We're hiring tons of people. We're expanding all over the place. And it looks more like they're just expanding in art and just maybe esports setup and all that stuff. They're not really expanding in balance work at all. It doesn't feel like it. They expanded into paladins, of course. So there's people in paladins, but they're not really expanded in ways that I feel would be really helpful. They've expanded in some ways, but the fact is, when you're a company, you can expand in all the ways. You can become great in everything because you have all the people you can hire to do that. You have the ability to do that. You don't have to focus on one or two things because you're like only one or two people. No, you're a company with a bunch of people. You can invest and put in a lot of good work into everything, quite literally, and you can do some good work there, and you'll have people coming in from everywhere. Instead, they abandoned a lot of things. They abandoned Twitch, they abandoned YouTubers, they abandoned they just abandoned so many things, and it's really frustrating. It is frustrating, because they could just be better, but they're not. That's it. Subject. I ranted a little bit of this on Twitter. Let's talk about Miitomo really quick. Miitomo's funny. It's pretty fun. It's oddly creepy, though. Miitomo is like a gamified Twitter. It's fun to play it and see what other people answer to things. But it also asks a lot of personal questions. It is really personal, but it's fun. Okay, now for a subject. I ran a little bit on Twitter about it. This is what worries me. So, someone got fired from a company because Gamergate went after them. and that company just didn't want to deal with the annoyance of Gamergate people, so they fired the person. And here's my problem. This is my problem with the entire Gamergate thing. I don't care what side you're on or any of this. My problem with the whole thing is this, and that is people in general, because it's not just Gamergate, it's a lot of other subjects. And that is, you have the rabid people who are for their side, and everyone on the other side is their enemy. This includes the moderates. If you are not for 100% their side, you are their enemy, and they will make your life miserable. These people are the f***ing worst. I f***ing hate these people. They are not okay. If you guys are like that, not a fan of you. But I don't have to be a fan of you. You do what you do. But I don't like it. And now you know that. Not a fan of that shit at all. Anyone who's willing to get someone fired over something, or just ruin their life, or even doxing, is despicable. And this happened a lot with Gamergate and a lot of other subjects, and it's very, very not okay with me. I'm just voicing that. The problem is, because of this, it makes other people scared. We had the whole thing with Felicia Day when Gamergate happened, where she's like, I saw some gamers, and I walked the other way, or I walked across the street to avoid them, because I'm afraid of how they might react to me now if I'm like, hey, I'm a gamer too, because of how divisive things are. We've always seen this with the console wars and some other things, but it has gotten really vicious the last couple of years on Twitter and in other places. And doxing is one of those things. And what happened? After Felicia Day made that article and said her fear of this, she got doxed. Proving the point of why she is afraid. She had the balls to say something though, but how many of us do? A lot of people are just being mute now. We have these rabid sons of bitches, these rabid bastards, scaring everyone to the point that a lot of people are going mute. They're not willing to say anything out of fear of getting doxed, of getting attacked, of fear of a lot of things. This isn't just, of course, gaming. This is, of course, anything in politics. Politics causes this a lot as well. So many different subjects do this. It is very unfortunate. You've got one side, the rabid people who are just f***ing everything up. You got the mutes who are not helping because they're not willing to say anything because they're scared. And that's unfortunate. Then you've got, of course, the people along those spectrums who say a little bit, the people who say a lot of things. Some are willing to fight, some are not. You got the moderates in the middle going on right there. But I see more and more things are sliding further to the other side. I see it farther going away from the middle towards the ends. And this is probably because how vocal the rabid side is. We see a lot of the vocal rabid side, and because of that we don't see anything else. So that leads you to believe the rest is just mute. Or there are moderates trying to talk here and there, but they get shouted down so quickly that they become mute anyway. Or they fight the rabbits and become rabid themselves. This is the problem. And this is the thing that bothers me as well, is I think to myself is, as we get more popular, we wield more power, but more chances of being hurt and being attacked. Do we go mute? Do we become mute people who don't say anything so that we don't bother with anything? But then we'll get people who are mad at us for not talking about any subjects. Do we be a rabid person? Not really a rabid person, but someone who fights that. Do we want to just get into the mud and fight? And sometimes I want to do that. Sometimes I want to get in there and just f*** things up. The thing, though, is this is a battle of words. And when it comes to a battle of words, people ignore whatever the hell they want. That's the problem with rabid people. They do not give a fudge what you say. They will just keep going. So you're not really doing anything. You're just making things worse for yourself in that fight. But it's not any better being a moderate, which is what I am. I try to be an open mind about a lot of things. Like, boy, I can see this, I can see that things, I can see all these other things. Sometimes just like, no, that's stupid, this is the only way. But most of the time, it is open mind, like, yeah, I understand these different sides. But what happens when you're a moderate? You get attacked from every direction. That's what happens when you're a moderate. So it's like, where do I go? The best thought I have is, you try to give your reasoning behind what you say, enough so that hopefully people will understand and believe you. The problem is, I've seen people way better than me at debating and being reasoned, being accused of being fanboys of everything. Like, what was it? I believe it was Jim Sterling, who, from the same article, was accused of being an Xbox fanboy or being paid, and a PlayStation fanboy and being paid. Being accused of being paid by both sides from this article he did. And it's not only him. A lot of other journalists get that happening to them. It happens to Total Biscuit, where he just says all these things, and people are like, no, it was and all these other things like that. It's very unfortunate. Total Biscuit is very passionate, man. Sometimes he is wrongly passionate, but there's a lot of times when he's passionate, he gives his reasoning, and it's very understandable reasoning. And he's like, okay, I get where he's coming from. Makes a lot of sense what he's saying. Do I agree with him or not? That's up to me at that point. But usually he reasons very well. So does Jim Sterling and some other personalities. They usually reason pretty well. Some will just say, fudge it, this is what I think. They're on the rabbit side, like, there you go. There's no other way. F you guys. And the problem is those people usually get a lot of viewers. They get a lot of fans as well, which worries me, which bothers me. And it's just the like, I agree with this guy, or they agree, or I agree with this guy, or you agree with me, or it doesn't matter what you think kind of thing. It's just very unfortunate, but it's a very popular thing. And that worries me a lot because we're not having conversation, we're not having discourse, we're not having debate. We're just having everyone just yelling their opinions or just what they think is fact, and that's all that's happening. And that concerns me a lot. That really concerns me a lot. Because it's just nothing but shouting. And nothing's happening. That worries me a lot, and I'm just talking about it, basically. And Jinx tells me, just don't think about that, just focus on the content and just making stuff. We can worry about that when we get there. And she's right, we should just focus and just do what we want. Because at the end of the day, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, anyway. It doesn't matter, we're gonna have enemies no matter what we do. Like, just for being a fan of donuts, I'm just gonna have people who are like, ugh, this guy likes donuts. Whatever. And whatever stereotypes they put towards donuts. That's what happens. Whatever stereotypes you put towards me being Asian, whatever stereotypes you put towards me being Mexican, whatever stereotypes you put against my age, against the area I live in, against just the way I talk, there are stereotypes that people put on other people about anything. So no matter what you do in life, there's going to be haters. There's going to be people who like you, but there's also going to be haters. And that pisses me off to no end. Because there's no reason to hate for the most stupid reasons. But it happens anyway. I'm just airing out these thoughts for the most part. Just talking, not really... I don't think there is a solution. I think we're screwed. I really think we're screwed. I think it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. We're just going to become more divisive. Divisive. We're going to become more divisive, and we're just going to get more separated into these little groups, and people are going to try to slow it down by being, moderate or being... actually having debates and discourse, which is good, but at the end of the day, I really worry that we're just becoming more binary. And it's not even a technology thing. We've always been kind of binary as people. There's always these are good, these are bad things, and we don't really gray area things as much as we could. And that's just something that, it's just because it's easy. It's very easy mentally to go 1 and 0. That's what it really is. It's very easy to go, these are our allies, these are our enemies, we don't like gray areas, because that just makes things confusing. Like, that's a human thing. Very unfortunate. And I don't know if there's a better way. Even, like, freaking politics. Just, we're binary, Democrat, Republican. At least, the English. I think also the Canadians, they do Parliament. So, there's a lot of choices to go on there. And you can give power to whatever you really feel. Because I think it's like, how much percentage decides how much percentage of the Parliament. Whereas, in America, it's just the most wins. Or strategically the most wins, depending on the state, because of the electorate. It can get a little bit confusing to people that we have a popular vote, and we also have a, what's the word called? I can't remember the word right now, but it's, each state's worth a certain number of points, and you want strategically the right ones to win. That's it right there. That's it for the vlog. That's enough of me talking there. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. I think the newest game is almost done, or it's over by now. Thank you to Jinx for all of her hard work, and just thank you to me for whatever reasons. I really do appreciate you guys and gals, I do. I'm sorry when I don't... Motorcycle. I'm sorry if I don't show it enough. Like, when I get really mad during the streams, I really don't show it because I'm so not happy because the match is just going so far south sometimes. That's unfortunate. I know I'm scaring away viewers probably by doing that, but oh my god, I gotta get in a better place mentally. Sometimes I just get beat down. That's enough. That's enough excuses. Just gotta do better. As always, I gotta do better as a person and as a player and as everything. So, gonna go do the Nuzlocke stream. Hope I see some of y'all there. And yeah, gonna be a lot of fun. So, that right there is the vlog. I think I already said that. Thank you, everybody. See you around.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower. Retreat!
Clean, splendid. Good
Nice
game.
job.
Woohoo! I am pretty good work, son.